Do you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? No? Just me? Alright. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Cowl Vault, and in today's video I want to showcase my two life-size Keaton displays that I have right now. This one here is primarily just for comparison to this piece right here, which is the one we're actually going to be showing off today. This is a 1:1 scale resin bust of Michael Keaton in the 1989 Batsuit. This was originally sculpted by Howard S. Studios. They offer this as resin busts, or they also offer this as latex cowls over a silicone Michael Keaton face that has like hair punched in, and it's just super realistic. But this one right here I acquired on eBay. This is a recast by a eBay seller known as Adam Kinder. Now, this seller is not really the greatest. I'm glad I got the piece, but I don't think I'll ever do business with him again. But you can get this particular piece, this recast, on eBay for about $150 US. A little bit more Canadian, that's what I paid, but here it is. This is a resin bust of Michael Keaton in the 89 Batsuit. Realized that my camera was tilting. This tripod is very, very horrible. I'm hoping to upgrade, but anyways, yes, you can acquire this for about $150 on eBay from Adam Kinder. I had a horrible experience with him. He's not very good with communication. He's just not a very good seller. I don't think he should be selling anything. He just doesn't have what you look for in a reliable seller. So buy at your own discretion. It's still a nice piece. Mine arrived rather damaged, but I'm so passionate about the 89 Batman film that I fixed everything wrong with this, and I painted it myself. It arrives completely white. There's extra resin everywhere. There's chunks missing from it. It was pretty beaten up when I got it. But like I said, I really wanted this to be like the soul of my collection. 89 Batman has always been my favorite. Michael Keaton Batman has always been my favorite actor. I don't think he'll ever be surpassed by any actor. Just me personally, I prefer Michael Keaton as Batman and always will. So I put a lot of love into this and making it look the best I could with my skill set. I'm not a professional, and there are better ones out there. There are better custom painted ones out there, and maybe one day I'll invest some money in sending this away to have it painted professionally. But for right now, it suits my needs. So this is a 1:1 scale replica. I do believe it is a little oversized to Keaton's actual proportions. Keaton was a rather short guy. This bust is a little enlarged, but it's still a really, really nice piece. And as I previously mentioned, the original sculptor of this is Howard S. Studios. You can also access his website. I'm going to try and leave it in the description below for a better quality version of this. And the way you can tell that this is Howard S. Studios is there's actual artist signature right here, which I will put up on the screen right now. That's how you can tell it is by Howard S. Studios. Some people are saying that's how you can authenticate it, but if you recast the authentic version, it's still going to have that signature. So don't be fooled. Make sure that if you guys are trying to get an authentic version, that you do your research, because you could end up like a recast like I have. I only purchased the recast because I could never afford the original. It is way too expensive. It is way out of my price range, and I could just never afford that with the wage that I make. So I went with the recast, and I was okay with that because I knew I was going to invest time in making this a lot better. Now, the reason this one is here as comparison is so that you can see size differences, and you can see the difference in the resin cast as opposed to the rubber cast. This mask here is made by Artsy1, Mr. Paul Roberts, and this face insert was sent to me by the Gotham Collector. This is a Keaton life cast that I believe was hand sculpted because it doesn't necessarily resemble Keaton immaculately, but this I believe is offered, this face cast here is offered by Ninco Creations. I'm going to try and leave every link to everything I'm talking about in the description below, but I just wanted to focus on this piece right here. This is literally just here for comparison. So this cowl is referred to as the Big Head Cowl by Paul Roberts. It's not the most accurate because he does have a more accurate version that's a little bit undersized. So the reason this is referred to as the big head is he casted up a standard mask that he offers, that standard size. It's a bit smaller, and he just added latex to it until it was about 1.5 inches wider, and then he recasted it. So you have crude texture all over this thing, which is not accurate to the film. The film accuracy versions are more smooth here at the top, and then are more scaly and riveted and rough down here to match the appearance of the cape. That was the whole purpose, was they wanted Batman's neck scallops to blend with his cape really well. So as you can see here, the crude texture is all over this. And that's because it was just dabbed on latex and it just left a rough texture. But it's still an amazing piece. I am very, very happy that I have this piece. Paul Roberts is an amazing sculptor. This emblem here is actually the emblem that came with this bust, but it was cast unevenly. It was arched up on one side, so it sat off the bust too much, and I didn't like the look of it. So I actually had this sitting out in the garage, left it alone for a while. Oh, my stuffing bags are coming out. I left it out in the garage for a while, wasn't going to do anything with it, and I acquired this emblem from Fanatic Effects. So I put the Fanatic Effects emblem on this bust. It fits perfectly. It's the exact look that I wanted, and I actually did come back to this emblem a little bit later, and I sanded the back down to make it smooth, and I sprayed this with leak seal to give it a rubber look to match the cowl. So this is how my cowl is displayed right now, with the Keaton face and the emblem from this bust. But this is actually the way that I prefer this bust to look. As I previously mentioned, I did hand paint this. I did it all in acrylics. So I sprayed this all with a gray primer from Rust-Oleum, and then I went in with hand paints, acrylics, artist studio paints that you can get at any art store. And I did the face first, so I taped off the eyes, taped off here, did the face, did the best I possibly could, but again, I am no professional. And then I went in with the eyes. These are just the standard resin eyes that are part of the bust. Eventually I would like to drill them out and install real acrylic eyes to better match the realism of Keaton in the mask. And I also painted the entire cowl. Now, I believe that the sealer that I used was labeled incorrectly because I purchased a matte sealer with no shine finish. But when I sprayed this, it has like a glossy shine finish. So I believe that whatever paint that I used was just labeled incorrectly in the store, and I had purchased the wrong one because he's kind of shiny and I don't really like the look. So eventually I'm going to spray this with a matte sealer over top of this to bring down that shine, because this is actually going to be the piece that is on top of my life-size Keaton when I finish the suit. All the pieces have been acquired, I'm just waiting for them to be delivered, and then I can finally finish my life-size Keaton, which I've wanted since I was a small child. So, this is an amazing piece. It's one of my, crown jewels in my collection to have Michael Keaton in my collection. This is probably the most accurate sculpt on the market, and it was completely hand sculpted. This is not a real Keaton life cast. This was sculpted from clay, start to finish, by Howard S. Studios, and he absolutely nailed the Michael Keaton likeness. This is Michael Keaton in the Batman '89 cowl, and it's so lifelike that it's disturbing. And yeah, so that's really all I want to show off today, guys, was my two life-size Keatons. Now I'm going to shut up and I'm going to zoom in on this guy so you guys can see the amazing attention to detail in the pores of the skin. You can see the eyelid detail. There's actual eyelids sculpted in. It's not just a flat eye painted on. There's so much sculptural detail in this, and it's just absolutely immaculate. Now, you're going to notice when I zoom in, there's still a few little dings here and there. I left those in intentionally because most of the cowls on screen had little dings here and there from the foam latex not coming out correctly. Plus, Batman's cowl near the end of the movie was rather damaged on purpose to emulate that scene where he crashed his bat plane. So I left a little bit of damage to make it a little bit more believable that this is really Batman and he's really been out there fighting crime. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the zoom in on this. Amazing, amazing piece. Again, this is like my favorite piece in my collection. And until next time, guys,